and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads. We're your hosts, Anne and Bree, and we would love for you to join us as we journey through all things indie. Here, we aim to highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books you won't find anywhere else. Tune in to find your next read, have a laugh, and share in the joy of finding your home. Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, the show that is good for your soul, but terrible for your TBR, your go-to destination for all things indie. Today we are running on Steam, and we both agreed, hey, let's talk about characters who we think would actually survive in the real world, and characters that wouldn't, because who doesn't think about this regularly? But before we get into who we think and who we don't think would survive, Anne, what you reading?
I just finished Song of the Deep by C.H. Lynn. This is a short novella about, it is C.H. Lynn's take on a Little Mermaid retelling, but the Little Mermaid retelling is with a twist. So instead of the mermaid turning into a human, our human actually turns into a mermaid. And it's just a lot of fun. So we're following our character who ends up having to get married to a prince from another kingdom. And while they were on the ship actually sinks, and kind of then Lydia ends up dying at sea. And when you die at sea as a woman, you either end up turning into a mermaid or something else. And we follow the prince then and her handmaiden on this journey of trying to save her. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a great little retelling, and it's definitely interesting because it's like that reverse Little Mermaid. And her next one is like a Rapunzel retelling, which is also really fun. And the third one is coming out soon. So I'm kind of doing a bit of a reread in lead up to book 3. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it. It was so fun and just really quick to read. So what are you currently reading?
I am currently reading an arc. Scars Beneath the Serpent's Scale is by Nicole Platania. She did the Trials of Ophelia. So Scars Beneath the Serpent's Scale is within the same universe as Ophelia. I'm not sure of the time gap, but I think a bit of time has passed. It follows Emmeline and Rormar. I'm probably saying that wrong. And kind of like a buddy cop detective murder mystery, but with there's the fates, and people have fate ties, and their fate ties are like their guides and who they can speak to. And it's actually, I started reading it on my flight I finished one book on my flight down to Christchurch, and then I got 15% in on my the last 20 minutes of my flight. And then I didn't really read. And then on my way back up, I went from 15% to 62%.
Holy.
And then I read, and then today I've read another. It's got the romance. It's got it's got the tension. There hasn't been any spice, which is it's building up though. And it's just, I'm having a lot of fun. I love being back in the same world as of, where we left off with Ophelia, and being like, I know this place. But then learning a whole other side of things. And then I love a good murder mystery. So fantasy murder mystery is just great. I'm having a good time. And I'm kind of
sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm 77% through it now. And I'm like, we're coming into I think we're entering the final act. And that is when everything kind of goes south a little bit. But book 2 comes out, and so book 1, this one comes out this month, and then book 2 comes out in November.
Oh wow.
Which is insane. Nicole has been working overtime.
Hell yeah.
So jeez. I'm really, I just don't understand. But I'm really looking forward to finishing this book and then getting into book 2 when it is coming out at the end of this year, because it's just these characters, the tension, the stories, the trauma, it's just all so good. So that's
I've got Nicole Platania on my 2026 TBR, the first one in the Trials of Ophelia. So I'm really looking forward to it, because I haven't heard bad things about her from you, so I'm very excited.
I only speak highly. I haven't steered you wrong yet. I don't think.
No, you haven't.
Just like you haven't
You
steered me
definitely
wrong. See,
haven't.
this works
Yeah.
really well.
It
we
does indeed.
we know. We know. But anyway, so today, characters who would survive in the real world. I know we probably think a lot about, hey, I would survive in this world. I wouldn't survive in this world. So, what if we took those characters and put them in our worlds? We've got a couple of characters. To be fair, I was half thinking, I was just like, I'm just going to wing this. I got characters, but I'm going to wing it. Because the more you stare at your books, you go, this person would not cope in reality.
No.
So, where do we want to start? Should we start with who would survive?
I think so. That would be a good idea, I think. And
Who
then,
do you, yeah, that's a good. Who do you think would survive in the real world?
so I think Xander from the Lost God series would survive, mainly because of his charm and how
Mm,
he just seems to fit in wherever he goes. Especially because in book one, he's kind of in this different kingdom and he's like doing his own thing and he's got his own thing and no one really knows about it. I'm trying to be vague here so I don't give spoilers. So I think he would like fit in really well. He can kind of be the person that he needs to be at that moment, if you know what I
mm.
mean. And I just think that he would, although the world is a dumpster fire at the moment, I think he would survive and do really well.
He would make a name for himself somehow. But you're right.
100%.
He's got the wit. He's got the charm. And
Mm.
I think by the time you get to like book three, I think he would really love it here because he wouldn't have the issues of book three in
Yeah.
this world. He'd be like, I'm
Yeah. He's like, peace, I'm out. I'm going this way.
bye.
Yeah,
No, I
especially
agree.
because he didn't want to be in that position in book three and he just
Mm,
kind of had to deal with it.
yeah, I know. I 100% agree with that.
Nice. Okay. Yay. What's your first one?
I am actually going to do my second one first because I
Mm-hmm.
think that ties in also from the Lost Gods. I think Cece would do really well in the real world because
Mm,
she would also, once again, wouldn't have the same issues that she would have. She could just kind of live in a cottage, make sourdough. She'd be like a little village, like she'd be like a forest witch, but in the middle of, a
mm,
city. Just be like, I don't have any concerns. I can go to work. I can come home. People rely on me for this amount of time, and then I'm nobody's problem. I think
yeah.
she would, especially with everything that she goes through the books. She'd be like, yeah, I'm following Xander here, like
Mm,
because this seems safe. We don't have magic. We don't have people don't go around stabbing each other as much. Um, I think she would probably. I think Cece would really love New Zealand specifically.
100%. I could see her
South
living
Island.
here.
She would be
Yeah.
South Island, somewhere like
Mm-hmm.
small town. She'd either be South
Mm-hmm.
Island or far north, in my opinion.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Xander would be like big city, like Auckland or Christchurch, or
Auckland. Yeah.
probably Auckland or Wellington.
Mm.
But CC would be small town, like maybe she'd go up to Kaitaia, or she would go all the way down south and be like, hey, mate.
Yeah. 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 Especially like no magic, so there's no consequences for what has happened within the books. She'd be just like peace out, living the life that she always wanted to live. Yeah,
She'd have
I
a
could
farm.
100%. Yeah, I could 100% see her just living on this like farm, having a gaggle of kids around her, just living her best life, being like this. You always hear these stories of these like nature witches or like the cottage core vibe, and I
Oh yeah.
100% agree with that one. Yeah,
She would
100%.
she would have like a lifestyle block. She'd be living off the
Yeah.
land. She would
Mhm.
be
Mhm.
just she would be so she'd have chickens and goats and
Yeah.
she'd just be like go into town like she maybe like do like a farmer's market kind of situation where like she sells her
Mhm.
sourdough and her eggs and her milk and then she just goes back home and there's nobody's problem. She would be one of those
Yeah.
off the grid. I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have a phone. I don't. I have a she would have a landline still.
Yeah,
He gives me
100%.
landline. Because if she walks away from the house to like from a little house to go into the gardens, nobody
No
can
one
reach her. You
can,
have to leave a
yeah.
voicemail on her landline.
And she can decide whether or not she wants to get back in touch with you.
You want to text her? You're gonna have to send her a letter. You're gonna snail mail.
100%.
So I think, yeah, no, Cece and Xander, Lost God, would love the real world.
Mm-hmm. 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 100%.
Who is your next one?
My next one is Harlow from The Poison Daughter. So my reasoning is she's she would love it here because she doesn't have to deal with the consequences and the pressure that her parents have put on her. She can kind of, she can be a radical feminist and be who she wants to be and not have that pressure of her parents on top of her. And she can just live her life as she wants. She can get married if she wants to. And to be fair, she will probably be one of these like serial killers who like gets rid of evil men even if she doesn't have her poison touch. So I honestly think Harlow would survive here, and we would all be backing her on her mission, even if we didn't know who it was.
Well, oh, you're talking about the Poison Daughter. Oh my god, like we love her work.
100%.
She would, she would be a Butcher and Blackbird kind of. That's like this is a
Mm-hmm.
competition.
Yeah, I'm going to do this, and I don't care. I'm going to take out every single person who is shitty, every single man who hurts a woman, and just that radical feminist of I don't need anyone apart from myself and my knives. Or yeah, I think knife would be her weapon of choice.
I would agree with that, but she would still have like a poison element to it. Like she would be the one who
Mm-hmm.
would kind of like, okay, so you date rape this girl, I'm gonna drug you. Like you're gonna this
Yeah.
is this is karma, bitch. Like you are going
Mm-hmm.
to drink the drink and then I'm gonna stab you really hard
100%.
multiple times.
Yeah, so I definitely think that she would just slot in here
Mm,
really well, especially because in the book she has to kind of end up in this different kingdom and she's like dealing with all of that
mm,
and she has to kind of slot herself into that, but and like kind of play a role. And I think she would do that really well in the real world as well.
mm. Nice. I agree.
What about you?
Suo from When Deities Awaken. I think
Mm,
similar to Xander, he has this level of charm to
mhm,
him that he would just thrive anywhere. And
mhm,
we've both read When Sorrow Fell for Rapture. So we know
mhm.
that he can kind of he will just be like, oh yeah, cool. He'll slot himself into where it's necessary and he will make friends and I think he would I just think he would really love, like, especially like the party scene. And
Yes.
he would be into the nightclubs and the raves and the going out and making friends and, ending up at some random's house, doing shots. And I don't know. I just think he would really, specifically the nightlife scene in the real world, he'd be in Vegas. He'd be a Vegas showboy. Um,
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. He's like that one person, when you go to a nightclub and they're that one person who can see that you're uncomfortable and kind of come over to you and like make you feel so like not
yes,
comfortable and like will take you out on the dance floor and like make you dance and have a good time. That's who he is.
yeah, absolutely. He'd be like the kind of one who'd be like, "You want to see some magic?" And then like, card trick, does it terribly, will terribly do it, but it makes you laugh. And he's the kind of guy who would also be like, "Oh yeah, no, like she's with me,
Hmm.
like fuck off." Like she
Yeah.
doesn't want your attention because she's with me, and you'd be like safe. So
Yeah.
I think but it's specifically the nightlife, not so much the general hustle and bustle of the world, but he would love to be a party boy.
Yeah.
But the nice kind
100%.
of party boy. But as you say, like the nice kind of party boy, not the dickhead um, assholes that you get. But he'd be the best person to have around for a party.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
And he'd be like the safe space for all the females at the place. Like
oh
you
yeah,
you know Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's your
Mm.
next person?
My last one, I think, who would survive is Cedric from Smoke and Scar. He is just the
Actually,
softest
yeah.
soft boy, right? Like he's
Yeah.
just so soft, he's so kind. I think he would slot really in because he is just kind of this average guy in Smoke and Scar, really. Like he's the
Mm,
human. Illyria is this Fey warrior who has all these accolades, and he's just this random knight who ends up getting thrown into this competition, and then it's kind of like because if he wasn't part of this competition, he would just be some knight, you know.
yeah.
I think that
You
he
can
would
hang
slot
out.
really well in here. He would probably be one of the army guys, you know,
Mm.
like he would like that like what am I trying to say? The community, the oh brain is not the time to like stop working. The structure of the
Yes.
army.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he would do really well in that scene. Um, but yeah, I think he would do well here.
I think he'd probably also be one of those other ones that would do like military, but then when he retires from the military, he would do a CC where he would go off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of
Mm-hmm.
those guys who would probably go bush to get away from everything as well.
Yeah, one hundred
Probably a
percent.
nature, like a hobby nature photographer
Mm,
because it's
I like that.
calming.
Mm-hmm.
He's got structure with the army, but then he goes away and he just wants to be a happy little guy who
Mm-hmm.
is calm and finds the peace in the nature and would take the photos and would just be like, yeah, there we go. This is what I do as a hobby. Post to Instagram like once on a blue moon when he goes on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric's
But yeah,
photography.
like that. Yeah, he has because in Smoke and Scar, he is this knight who has to like battle and he has to do these hard things, but he is still a soft-hearted person, still kind, still lovely. He's such a cinnamon bun that
Mm,
yeah, I think you're 100% right. He'd like that structure and that like camaraderie with in the
mm,
military, but then he'd also want to get away and go bush and be like, okay, I'm
mm.
done with people now and leave me alone.
I'll see you guys in 3 to 5 business days. If I don't come back, everything's fine. I'm just not coming back. I'm done.
Yeah. What's your next one?
So I have chosen Kip from Legends of Thesma.
Ooh, okay. I haven't
I
read this,
think,
so.
oh, okay. Kip is like one of those guys. Once again, really charming. Really, hey, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. You want this? Here you go. He'd be one of those those business guys who anything he puts his mind to, he could do. He would have
Mm,
like an empire, like he would have a chain of like bars in the real world, and one you don't have he wouldn't have like the life and death of. You might die. Here's this though. Here's something I prepared earlier. He wouldn't have that stress. He would fully be able to focus his time on. I just want to run a bar, but not just while he's got that business mind, and I say yes, he'd probably be one of those guys who owns like a chain of bars. I
mm-hmm.
think he would probably go into the middle of nowhere and like have like a trucky stop, like because they're really popular, like especially at the States, like they got those trucky stops. He'd have one of
Mm-hmm.
those bars where everybody goes to, everybody knows about it. It's like if you're in the area, you have to go to this place, and he would just have the best time because one, it's not life and death. Two, he can just do business and he can make friends, and he'll be the one who's nobody knows he's the owner because he's behind the bar and he just
Yeah.
wants to talk. He just wants to make friends, and Kip just gives me like he would love it, especially in the States. Not so much New Zealand. He would love it
Mm-hmm.
in the States. He business minded little
Yeah.
minx. You really need to read
This is
Legends
my
of
little
Thesma.
mix. I know,
You
it's on my list.
you really need to read it, especially Ashes, which is now complete. So you need to. They're so good. I know
Yeah.
you've only done 3. Have you got anybody else before I do my last one?
I honestly struggled with this. But if I'm thinking it's the same person that I also had a thought of. I think we're just good to go with your last one. If I'm 100% sure it's the
Clara.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Clara from Celia Rourke's or the Crooked Kingdoms. She would thrive in the real
Oh,
world.
100%.
She
Hell
would be
yeah.
like, if a portal opened up and it showed itself to Earth, our time Earth, she'd be like, fuck you guys, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Like, you're on your own,
I
kid.
see her as like a sex therapist.
Yes.
You know, like female empowerment, all about the human body, like women's bodies
Yeah.
and women's sexuality and pleasure. I
Mhm.
see her like that. She would be one of those, you know, fighting for women's
100% agreed.
empowerment.
Yeah.
Mm,
She's like head of like she's like women's rights. Like she's really
mm.
into the women's rights and oh no, dude, you are so, absolutely
Right? Like 100%.
without the
She
life
would.
without the life and death of,
Yeah.
and I think especially after, and then I think after book 3 she would branch out into trauma therapy
Yes.
and
Hmm.
PTSD,
Hmm.
and she would be like, okay, this is what I have this clinic for, and this is what I have this clinic for. She would be really good with the military with with the Cedrics.
Hmm.
She would be like, cool, I went through all of this. This is how I can help people because I've
Yeah.
processed my trauma.
Hmm.
Yeah, she
For
would love it.
geniuses.
She would. We're so smart. Guys, hire us. We can tell you if your character would survive in the real world or not. Just wait till we get to our next list of who wouldn't survive. There's one on my list who only wouldn't survive because I wouldn't let them survive.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
literally, when I saw that you wrote that, I was like, I literally had the same thought. Like, I was like, I won't put that on mine because I don't want to bring that person up. But
I'm gonna.
that's a good one.
It is. That's the only reason why they wouldn't survive is because they wouldn't. I would not let that happen. I'd be like, "You're out."
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think Clara would be female empowerment, LGBTQIA plus rights, trauma therapist,
Mm.
100%. I think she would thrive
She would
in the
have.
real
She would
world.
love Instagram.
Yes.
She would
Oh my
be.
God.
She would. She would be
Do
like.
you think she would do an OnlyFans?
I think she would, but not. I think she would use that as an opportunity to educate people.
Yes.
She would be like, I see what you guys are using this for, but hey, hi, this is a safe space. This is what we're going to talk about today, and people would
Just
be
like
all over it.
rebrand the whole of OnlyFans.
She would. She single-handedly would, though. Like, there's not a
100%.
there's not a doubt in my mind that she wouldn't just go, yeah, I see what you're using it for. Rebrand.
Let's reverse. Let's flip it on its head. Let's go. Yeah.
So yes, but only for that reason.
Yep.
If you
I like
guys
it.
haven't read Celia Rourke by now, with the amount of times and almost, we've almost been doing this a year.
Wow.
So we started recording in April of
In
last year,
April. Holy
and
shit.
we've almost been doing this for a whole year. And in the entire year that we've been on here, we've just raved about Celia Rourke. And
Well,
if you guys
Celia Rourke
haven't,
was our first author interview.
she was our, and she was our last author interview of the year as well, which was amazing. It just
Yeah, so good.
So if you guys haven't read her by now, after listening to us talk about her for a whole year, what are you doing?
Like, come on.
Honestly, guys.
And why are you still listening to us if you're not taking our recommendations?
Yeah, honestly, this is the pod that's good for your soul and bad for your TBR for a bloody reason.
For a
Thanks
reason.
to Mel for that tagline that is never going to go away.
No.
So yeah, no, I think we made a good list of who would survive.
I think so. It's a really good list.
Considering I think we both did this last minute.
Oh, 100%. Like 5 minutes before we recorded, I was like, I need a
I,
list.
I looked at it at work and I was like, I still haven't written anything. It's fine. And then I was like, I'll wing it. And then I thought about it. I was like, I shouldn't probably wing it too much. So we're writing it down. But I was like,
But like honestly, I didn't plan why I wrote those people down. Like I just wrote those people down and I've just been like figuring it out as we talk.
and here's the thing. We've both agreed on
Yeah.
all of them because it's accurate, because we know these characters
Yeah.
so well, because
100%.
we spend so much time with them in our head, reading them, that they're just
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
yes, what would they do in the real world? You know, I think
Yep.
Suo would also be a TikToker.
100%. Who does all the dance, like the trending dances?
Yeah.
100%.
He would, the dancers, and he'd be like pranking his friends and recording it, but coming with the most elaborate pranks. I'd say he's like the Riddick of in Fourth Wing. He'd be having prank wars, but it wouldn't be like he's not monetizing it like those hype houses or whatever it is that you get in the States. He'd just be doing it because he can, because he's just like, I
And he
just like
thinks he's so funny.
and he thinks he's so funny because he is.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so clever.
We are so clever.
Guys, why do we have day jobs? Because we need money.
Unfortunately. $4.
Yeah. But
The only reason.
So, our next list, the other half to this whole episode. Who do we think wouldn't either survive or wouldn't cope? I think is probably a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't cope with being in the real world? Go.
My first one is Savage from Her Vicious Beasts.
Which I've not read yet.
Savage is feral. Like, no joke. Like, he is insane, and he would survive the real world by being either locked up in prison or in a mental institution, like mental health institution, because he is that crazy. Like, people will think that he just needs to be put away because he has a lot of anger issues, a lot of violent tendencies. He has a pet chicken called Eugene that he carries around under his arm. And although I love Savage with my whole entire heart, I really just don't think he would survive the real world, because the real world has a lot of rules.
And he wouldn't.
He wouldn't like them. He wouldn't deal with them. He doesn't deal with the rules in the Her Vicious Beasts world. And he ends up going to this sort of like prison for feral shifters. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only one I've read is the novella.
Yeah. But you can tell already he's going to be like
kind of get
feral.
the vibe. Here's the thing: I don't think any of them, from the novella, from the snippet that I've read of them, none of them would cope. They would all be under the Mental Health Act or in solitary confinement.
Right? Like, insane.
Like, they would not. Yeah, no, from what the small snippet that I've read, they would not like. They'd be like, I can do whatever I want. It's like, nah, dude, there's people like that that can.
You can't.
Not in this world.
Yeah, there's too many rules, because in this world, Her Vicious Beasts and stuff, like, it's a little bit more lenient because there are so many shifters and there's, it's just kind of their animalistic tendencies, but that's not how the real world works.
No.
And I don't think that he would cope, unfortunately.
No, I agree. From the snippet that I've read, yeah, that's solid, actually.
Who's your next one?
So my first two wouldn't survive. I've actually put Ophelia from The Curse of Ophelia. Purely
interesting.
Because one, she's nothing without, like, she is nothing without her family, like her family. Two, we don't have Pegasi in the real world. I think she would not survive without Sapphire.
Yeah.
She may have a
Yeah.
horse, but it's not the same. Well, I think
Yeah.
she probably like the magical, like the lack of magicalness.
Hmm.
I think she is just so like she's nothing with she loves stuff. Sapphire is her baby is, and like she once you I can't give away too much because you haven't read the series yet. But once you read the series, you'll sit there and you go, okay, this is what she needs. 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 And she would struggle probably because she's like her magic. She uses her. Well, she's good with a sword. Like, she's good with a weapon. She's good with her
Hmm.
magic. And just with the fates and the angels and everything that kind of goes on, she would be like,
Where's my baby?
faith doesn't work the same here. Like, you guys don't just go boogity boogity and things happen. It's like, no, no,
Unfortunately, not.
no. If I could oogity boogity, can you imagine if I oogity boogity and something happened? That would be great, considering I go ooh too much. So yeah,
That would
I
be
don't.
wonderful.
I'd be magic. I'm like, bye. Um, that's purely because she yeah, just the magic, some of the magical elements she would feel lost without because that's not what she's used to. She's been without these things and I hated it.
Yeah.
So I think once you read the series, you might be like, yeah, I can see that. This is what she needs to help her tick. And we don't have that in the real world. We have
Hmm.
taxes. It's about as magic as we
Unfortunately.
get. We get paid and magic suddenly and money suddenly disappears.
Yeah. We don't actually get all of our wage. It just disappears.
Where does it go? We
Fuck knows with
don't
this
know.
government.
So, no. What's your next
My
bunch?
next one isn't a indie. It was indie and now it's not. But Ezra, Farron, and Dayton from the Beasts of the Briar series, particularly because of this one scene that actually happens in the series where they have to go and save Rosalina in the real world.
Mm.
And these men have no concept of the real world, no concept of the fashion of the real world. One rocks up dressed as a full on cowboy in a small town. One is head to toe dressed in like skiing gear, and I can't remember what the other one was dressed up as. It was like, I think it was like 70s disco. It was insane. And this scene had me cackling so hard. And like they just rock up and like are walking down this town thinking they're like the height of fashion and they have done so well at blending in with these humans. They really don't. They
So it's
really
like
don't.
that scene in the Barbie movie where like they're in full cowboy and cowgirl gear, and Ken's like patriarchy.
Yeah. Like, and yeah, like it's like this scene lives in my brain, like, and for someone who has aphantasia, I can see this scene so clearly in my head, like of these three dudes like rocking down this town thinking they're like the best of the best, like they've done so well at blending in with these humans that yeah, I just think that they wouldn't cope or wouldn't survive because they just can't deal with like they can't dress the way they want to. And they just can't wrap their heads around how humans actually live. They have this concept in
Dress
their
as an
brain and they
80s
just
disco
can't.
man.
Huh?
Just can't dress as an 80s disco man. How disappointing.
No. All
That's
right. Or
me.
a full head to toe ski
Ski.
ski because Ezra has he's a character who wears his face is always covered and he's not allowed to show his face until he meets his like fated mate. So as soon as he hits a certain age, this helmet gets put on him and yeah. So he had to obviously wear this head to toe ski
Yeah.
outfit with like massive goggles and like to cover his face. It was just the best scene. Um, and yeah,
I need
they
to
just
watch
they
that.
just wouldn't cope. They really wouldn't cope with the real world and how we dress and how we deal with things. And yeah,
I
it's so good.
the imagery in my head is so good.
It's so good.
I feel it feels like I'm watching the YMCA dudes. They walk down the street and
Yes.
yeah, that's how I'm
Mm-hmm.
picturing it in my head at the
Yeah.
moment. Just walking down the street, like
It's
yeah.
yeah. Hey now.
Yeah,
Yeah, like straight up.
that's beautiful.
It's so good. Yeah. What's your next one?
So I have chosen Ismira from A Wraith Beneath the Tides by Amelia J.
Oh.
We don't have pirates like she does.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just drown a man if they piss you off,
Unfortunately.
and we don't have mermaids. She just would be like, I can't be a sire. Fuck you guys, and leave. She'd go back. She'd be
Yeah.
like, if I can't just drown a man, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's as simple as that. I think she would absolutely she'd just hate it here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas Harlow would be like having a good time being able to be like
Like, let's
murdering
go.
people.
I'm gonna work this out. Yeah.
Esmera would not be subtle about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where she would hate it because she can't be subtle. She just has to she would just have to live her life. And we don't have pirates the same way they do. Like pirates are not as entertaining
No.
as they are in books. And yeah, that's it's purely just because I think she would hate she couldn't do what she wanted to, and she doesn't have a subtle bone in her body.
Yeah, that's fair.
Have you read A Wraith Beneath the Tides?
Not yet.
She's not subtle. You think she's a secret, but she ain't subtle. Like you just sit. If I saw her, I'd be like, something ain't right here. You have that look about you. You know how some people just have that look where you look at them and go, "You're born in the wrong time."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She would have that vibe, and she would be like, "I'm going back to where I want to be." So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
you've just added another one in.
I did. I just thought of another
Like,
one while we were
pray
talking.
tell.
Okay, so this is Nissa from Crown of Olympus by Kate Asher. So Nissa is the daughter of Hades. So we're following kind of children of these Greek gods, and at the beginning of this story, Zeus is murdered, and the crown has to
Good.
go to someone else. But before, who said
Good
that?
bit.
But before the crown, the person is chosen, all of these people who want to compete for the crown have to enter these deadly trials. So Nissa is the daughter of Hades. And I think if she came to the real world, she would be horrified that we don't believe in Greek mythology. And she would not be able to deal with that. She would not be able to deal with being the daughter of Hades and no one respecting Hades and
Yeah.
who is this god that is the one and only. I think she wouldn't cope with that. So, and having no magic. She loves her magic. She has a great time with her magic and she loves the underworld. I don't think she would do very well in the real world where it's all bright and sunny
Interesting.
and hot. And yeah, she likes the dark. She is very, she would be one of those women who takes no shit, but is also seen and looked upon as like this bitch who no one wants to deal with, even though she's not, but she gives off that vibe. So no one would
Yeah.
really like resting bitch face, and all the men wouldn't want to be around her. They'd be kind of terrified of her. So I don't think she would cope very well, mainly
Interesting.
because of our belief systems.
Interesting. I like,
Mm.
yeah. I haven't read. This is probably another book that I haven't read that I probably should,
Yeah,
especially because you're
absolutely.
throwing great with Greek mythology. I'm like, oh yeah, and Zeus
And
being
Deadly
dead,
Trials.
deadly trials, killing off Zeus. Yes, this immediately gets approved. Um,
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll need to read that one at some point when I catch up on my TBR.
Yeah, I've so many books to read. I'm in still a bit of a slump, but we're working through it. It's all right.
That's alright. We were just talking about this one. Who wouldn't survive purely because I wouldn't let her.
Absolutely not. Like
It's death on
the
sight.
United States government couldn't take her out, but we would do it. We would
We would
do
do it
it
free of charge.
free of charge.
No. We would do it for 11 Coke bottles. So for those who eventually this will probably all make sense eventually. It is Teresa from Empress Teresa. Um,
Fuck this bitch.
Death on site. Give me 12 Coke bottles and I'll take her out. Like 11 Coke bottles. That woman, she will not. She will last 5 seconds and she'll be done. Hal could not save her, even if it tried. Like I have so much liquid. Like I joke that I'm 3 otters in a trench coat. I have so much liquid spite for this character that if suddenly on the news, Teresa, but right, I'm making a trip. You're
Yeah,
going down. She
yeah.
is the most insufferable. Oh, Ben started reading Seducing Scylla, by the way.
No.
So that means we're one step
Hell
closer to
yeah.
getting him on the podcast to talk about Empress Teresa and Seducing Scylla.
I'm so excited.
I said to him, I was like, have you started yet? And he goes, I have. I'm like, good, because I really want to talk about how much I hate this book. Just Teresa, death on, like that. Okay, as a person, she probably should be fine on Earth, but she wouldn't last because we would be out to get her like within seconds. Like that book is
Yep.
the worst book. She is the most insufferable, arrogant being to have ever been written. And you can tell it was a self insert because Norman just wanted to be a girl who did everything.
It was
Oh, and
beautiful and stunning,
you want to know
and
who's going to go down with Teresa? Steve. Steve's going down too.
Steve's
I'm
going
taking.
down too. Yeah.
I'm taking. We're taking them both out. Like that, neither of them would last half a minute because that Steve is the most useless character to like. He's just there, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, I do.
I can't wait for the episode where we just get to rant about this book. And you know what? I hope Norm hears it. I hope Norman hears this. I will find his email and I will send him this episode just so I can be like, this is what we thought about your book. We read it. You owe us $14.
Straight up. I'm so mad that I spent some money on it.
I can't believe we spent $7 on this. I agree with what you're just writing. I agree. Hey, Norm, he needs to hear how much we hate this book, and I hope he gets it, and I hope he sends us an email, a scathing
I
email,
hope so. And then we will
because
get him on the podcast and just rip him to shreds.
absolute shreds. My first question will be, how big are your balls to think that publishing this is a good idea? That would be my first question. Like straight up. I was like, how big are your balls that you think that this was a good idea to write? Like it is so bad. I think I was talking to someone about this and she was just like, I'm so glad I never read this book. I'm like, never read this book. Don't spend money on
No.
it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I want a physical copy so I can burn it. But I'm not spending the money on physically buying it because I already have it in my Kindle for
Yeah, I
life.
cannot wait until we have this episode so I can delete it from my Kindle.
The 3 months, like the months long slump that it put me in because I was terrified to read on my Kindle because I was traumatized by it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Teresa wouldn't last. What's what?
Yeah.
Tell us on site. 2 second rule.
So if
What's
you heard the
your
tippity tapping, that was me adding another one to the list because I just
me
thought of
laughing?
one. But this is Eric Bloodsinger from the Everseas series. He is the epitome of a morally grey character. He is a sea pirate kind of person who's also fae, and he loves the sea. He loves his blood is poison to anyone who touches it, basically, and he wouldn't survive in the real world because in the real world, if you love someone, you give them a ring instead of bones of your enemies. And I don't think he could deal with that.
No. So
Right?
I've only read book one, but I
Mm,
agree with that. Yeah, he
mm,
would be like, "What do you mean you can't give bones?" I was like, "You don't kill people."
buddy.
Like in your world, yes, you can kill people, but in the real world, my dude, people who kill people end up in jail. And
Yeah.
if you're
And I,
giving
I
people
just think he
bones,
would also struggle with not being a pirate and being out on the sea
yeah,
and living his best life that way. Just because those types of pirates don't really exist in our world. We have these weird pirate types. And yeah, I just don't think he would survive.
agreed,
Mm.
100%. Can't
Mm.
wait to read the Everqueen.
Oh,
Um,
I'm so excited.
just sitting on my bookshelf. That might be my after. I need to catch up on some. I think I've got one more arc to read after my Nicole Platania one, and then I'm up to date with
Nice.
my arcs. So
Oh, happy days.
for once, I'm on top of things.
I keep getting emails with new arcs, and it's great for when I'm not in a reading slump.
She
But
says,
a lot of them are like because it's an indie author who's now being traditionally published, so they're like NetGalley
"Oh,
widgets, which means that the books aren't coming out for like a few months. So I've got
you've got
time to
time.
get out of the slump and kind of catch up. So yeah, that's good.
You will
What's
get out
your
of
last
it."
one?
So this one, as we were talking, as I was thinking about Suo, who would love
Mm-hmm.
the real world. I was thinking of of the people. Conan would hate it here.
Yeah,
I think just with how protective, because he would do anything. He for his people. There is nothing he wouldn't do. He would use everything in his abilities, and without his guardian, I think he would struggle. And he because once again, you'll meet more of you get to know him a lot better in When Sorrow Fell for Rapture, which we have,
mm-hmm.
as I said, we have read, and it just really comes through. The world of Alicia is so perfectly designed to have him in it.
Yeah,
He fits it so perfectly. The magic, the lifestyle, the he would probably also be one of those ones in the real world who would go bush, but not
yeah,
because he wanted to, but because he had to live the life that he's used to.
mm-hmm.
And without without his murder, without his people, a murder is a group. By the way, guys, it's their group. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a herd. That's what
Yeah,
a herd of them. He like the using like yeah. I just there's just something about him. Like when you read him, you just go, yeah, he is so perfectly designed for Alicia. He is Elysian to his core. That if he was in the real world, he would go bush just because he's like, I can't cope with this.
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you would never
Yeah, I
hear
definitely agree. Like the other characters that we meet, you can kind of see how they would survive and how they would
him. Yeah,
be able to integrate themselves. But with Conan, you can't. I can't see him doing that, especially not with his guardian by his side, because
mm,
they have such a special
such a bond.
bond and how
Yeah,
protective he is of her and his people, and just yeah, I don't think he could do it. Like if they all came as a group,
then
he would,
maybe.
because yeah, he would be able to deal with it. But I think they'd still have to go bush just to make
Yeah,
him comfortable. But yeah, I just don't think he could deal with it. Yeah, I think you're
And
correct.
like, and as I've been thinking, it was like Suo, he would love it here. He'd be like, "Pie
He would,
boy."
yeah,
Conan would be like, "Fuck this! Like, I can't. Like, I
get me
just
out
send
of
me,
here. Yeah.
get me. I'm an Elysian. Get me out of here."
Hmm. Hmm.
He would. He'd be on Struggle Street, and it's why he's an Elysia and not on Earth.
Here.
That's why he's a voice in Zoe's head
Yeah.
and not a real person. And I think there's just some of the rules of the real world as well that he just wouldn't cope with.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
so that's our list.
I think we did really well.
I think we did really well. I feel like if we had more time to think and be like, okay, what do we want to do? We could probably come up with a much bigger list.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's Monday.
It's Monday.
We
We're
said we
already
never
50
record on a
minutes
Monday
in.
again. We've just this is a good list that we've put together, and
Yeah,
I feel like done really, really well, like really accurate.
yeah, I think we've pinpointed these characters so well,
Yeah,
and like what they would do if they lived in the real world, and how,
yeah.
like, I think we did so well.
Okay, so to then switch it around, what world do you think you would survive in, and what world do you think you wouldn't survive in?
Oof, good question. Um,
Happens sometimes.
yeah, you've put me on the spot. I think I could do well in Celia Rock's world.
Mm,
Like it's quite calm. I could find my own little town to kind of live in, even without my magic. Like without magic, I wouldn't, you know,
yeah.
everyone's kind of, it's not the be all end all if you have magic or if you don't have magic. You can just kind of
Mm,
um, survive either way. And I think that a certain communities would kind of take me in. Um, a world that I don't think I would survive in. Oh, what if? I don't know. I'm like, I could survive in any world that I'm put in, but honestly, I don't think I could. Uh, maybe the Everseas or anything to do with water because I can't swim.
yeah, you
Any
wouldn't
world
survive.
that's like, no, I wouldn't. I'd be like dropped in the water and dead,
Dude,
like
you live in New
immediately.
Zealand. We're
I
surrounded by
know.
water. You need to
I
learn how to
lived in
swim.
Ireland, which was also surrounded by. No, I can swim. I've like since moving to New Zealand, I have learned how to swim because I was like,
Good.
this is something that I need to do. But I'm not comfortable in the water. Like I can like
Good.
doggy paddle and I can do backstroke, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I landed in the water and I like ran out of air or like I'm not very good at breathing while I swim. So there's that. So yeah,
Fair.
I don't think anything with water as a main element of the world. I don't
Fair.
think I could do. Mm. What about
Yeah.
you?
I think I probably there's two worlds I think I could survive in, and that's the Lost God world. I
Yes.
think I'd be like a memory witch, but like with the heal,
Hmm.
like I do a lot of the healing. That would because I mean that's just who I am. I'm a nurse to my core.
Yeah.
I would be like I'd be a memory witch, and I'd probably survive in Alicia as a heart.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, just one, having a guardian would be great, and
So cool.
just hanging out with everybody. And then there's Osiris. So I'm like, and then,
Millions out of the way.
yeah, let me just. I think I would survive there mainly because I would know where my place is, which is around the people and being able to help the people. A
Hmm.
world I probably wouldn't be able to survive in. Ooh, probably. Oh, this is a hard one. God damn it! Why did I do this
Mm.
to us?
Hmm.
I have fucked us over.
And they're like, I've packed all my books away, so I can't even look at my books to be like,
Yeah. Where's my Kindle? Hold on. Hold on. Hold the line, caller. Let's go into here. Oh. I mean, I'm probably in the same boat where I probably wouldn't survive too well in a world that is based on water. I can swim.
yeah,
I am a
mm,
strong swimmer, but I hate boats.
that's an issue.
Yeah. I would not cope with that because I am not I'm a strong swimmer. I love the water, but I can't deal with boats. I would probably get myself killed because I would jump overboard because I'd be like, I'm out, bye.
Yeah.
Um, and potentially just looking through where else. I know there's another place that I wouldn't survive. Um, no, I think it's wherever there's a lot of water. I
Oh
just
shit.
there's just it's I can swim, but I don't want to have to be holding my stomach in. I don't have a strong I have a strong stomach to a certain point.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah,
Yeah.
same kind of boat there. Uh, I didn't even do that on purpose. I never. But that wraps up the bulk of our decision making for the day.
Yeah,
We did well. Well done. Well done.
we did.
So I guess like we do every episode, we'll wrap it up with our spark of joy and our plug of the week. For those who might be tuning in for the first time, our spark of joy is just something that has brought us joy during the week when we've been stressed with the world, with looking at the world and how it is at the moment. Things are probably a little more fucked than it was the last time we recorded.
Uh, just a little bit. A war has
Yeah,
broken out. Fuel prices are skyrocketing.
yeah, things are not things are slightly worse than last time we did a
And it's
recording.
actually affecting New Zealand now, which is scary.
It's a little scary. We were having a conversation about it at work. To be fair, I kind of zoned out because they're starting to panic. You know, what happens if we run out of fuel? And one of my colleagues was panicking, going, "I'm the only one who'll be able to make it to work because I live close by." And I was just like, "There's no point being anxious about something that you can't control at the moment.
Yeah.
There will be ways to get places. You just may have to walk. It'll be fine." I'm like, and I'm trying
Yeah.
not to. I mean, I don't drive, so I'm like, yay! I don't have to worry about fuel. Thank goodness. One thing that I'm pleased I don't drive for now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just the world's getting a little bit scarier. So we'll talk about our sparks of joy and what's yours.
I've got two. So the first one is hyperfixating on new hobbies. So because I've been in a bit of a reading slump, I've decided I'm going to try and get my life together, and I've kind of hyperfixated on like getting myself a new journal and kind of figuring out how to like set goals for myself and actually achieve my goals. But also, I decided randomly on Saturday that I was going to start a reading journal. So I spent 2 days sitting on the floor with my legs crossed, making a reading journal. And I've had the best freaking time doing that. It's so fun. And I'm really impressed with the stuff that I've done so far with the very minimal kind of supplies that I have because I don't really buy a lot of stationery anymore and stuff. But I got some cute little paper and I've just been using my highlighters and it's just been a lot of fun. So I would, yeah, that's just been great. And my second one is after months of training, I did complete my 8.4 kilometer race in Auckland, not last
Oh
weekend, the weekend before. and it was just a lot of fun. And it was really good to just run alongside Maddie and Steph. And we all kind of ran at a different pace, but we kind of all kept together. Like Maddie and I would kind of like run a little bit ahead, stop, wait for Steph to catch up, and then we all made sure that we crossed the finish line together. So it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So what's yours?
Congratulations. Well done on
Thank
completing,
you.
by the way. That is such an achievement
Thank
that I would
you.
not. I personally would. I can barely walk properly. Why would I
That's fair.
run?
That's fair. I've also signed up for another one in May to do on my own. So
That'll be exciting. How far is that one?
8.7.
You
So
can
just a
do that
little bit
easy.
further. Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah. What's your spark of joy?
So my spark of joy was I've just put meeting all the authors, but also fellow readers at a romantic adventure. A romantic adventure was interesting. I will not go further, but it was really cool getting to meet a whole lot of people that we've spoken to on the podcast. Getting to meet Demi and Cleo and Courtney Clark Michaels, and getting to meet Esme Brett and Helen Schrerer, which was like I was a little bit starstruck because I was like, oh my god, it's Helen. Helen.
Big Helen.
And Stasia Stark, and just getting like so like meeting so many people, and one person yelling "cheese" at me, and that scared me. Um, and then adding to my little friendship bracelet collection, I got given one that says "baby girl," and I was just like, this is just like very Pedro Pascal in The Last of
Mm-hmm.
Us, and Derek Logan from Criminal Minds. I'm like, this is the one I want. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
getting to meet people that were spoken to before was just so exciting. I was fizzing at the bit, going like, "Oh my god, I get to meet all these people and give them a squish." And Lex Logan, and getting to to meet people that we're in street teams with, and my social battery was very flat by the time I got home. But it was really nice talking to people and seeing people that we know and getting to hang out with Zoe, which was really fun. So
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
always fun, and then getting to just like us getting to yap and chat and actually properly catch up, because otherwise we only see each
Mm.
other once a year now.
Yeah.
But thanks to book events, and I get to tick another thing off my bingo card, which is go to more book events this year. So I
Yay! And Ages of
already got,
Pages is going to be even better for meeting people, and I'm so excited.
and we get to do it together,
Together!
which
I'm
is
not
even
leaving you on your own
better.
this time.
Thank God. Just on a like a heads up I'd like to apologize to everyone that I spoke to at a romantic adventure, because I did say, and I'd like to apologize to Anne because I did say, yeah, she just left me on my own. Like, I don't know why. Like, this is the second time this has happened where I have been released into the wild, and then I just talk at people, and people are like, "You are a little bit insane." I'm like, yes, I am. But hey, I have emailed so many people for the podcast, so I'm very excited for what is to come. I will be booked before we know it, like for the rest of the year.
Oh my
So
god, it's insane.
it's so exciting. And then moving on from that, our plug of the week. What's your plug?
My plug is actually going through your bookshelves and seeing the books that you actually have on your bookshelf that you probably bought ages ago and forgot about. Because I'm packing up because we're moving house. So I'm pulling all these books off my shelves, and some of my shelves are double stacked because I just don't have room for another bookshelf. So I was like pulling the first stack off, and then like that they're all the books that like I see every day. You pull the stack off and you're like, huh, I didn't know I had that book. And yeah, I would just highly recommend, if you've got double stacked bookshelves, maybe rotate them so you can see those books that you haven't seen in a while.
Good idea, actually.
Yeah. Because if you're like looking at your shelves and like, I don't really want to read anything, maybe check that second
There's always a book.
stack, and you'll probably find something that you want to read. So that's
Oh
my plug of
god,
the week.
good plug.
What's your one?
My plug is just reaching out and checking on your friends. I have had a couple of moments the past couple of weeks where I've been talking to a friend, and as your Anne would know, I have a very close group of friends that they're like my family, and we've had a lot of moments where I've had me having conversations of I'm concerned about so and so. So I had a very lengthy conversation with a friend today because I was like, "How are you actually going?" And then I got like it was like how are you how are you? And then I got like a long message back.
Mm.
And then just, planning things with friends because life is short, time is shit. You need to fill your time with the people who make it worth like doing life with. So
Hmm.
it was really nice the other day. I had three of my friends over and I taught them how to make my lasagna, and we ate dinner at the dinner table like a family meal, and it was really nice. So
Nice. That's so good.
plus having three grown adults in my kitchen who aren't me, and I can only meddle a little bit because I'm teaching them. Yeah, they did great, but it's really hard not to meddle.
That's fair.
I am too much of a control freak, but that's okay. Anyway, that sums up our episode for today. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day that you decide to listen. Make sure you subscribe so we know you're listening. Turn on your little alert bell so that we can be like, hey, look, a new episode's just come out. Yay! We appreciate you spending your time with us today and every day. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Broke Book Girls Pod. And where can they find you to get all of your cool stuff?
You can follow me at Runaway Irish Girl pretty much on all platforms, I'm pretty sure. What about you?
You can find me at Cheese and Reads. Some places. I'm there. Um, Follow along on your listener of choice. We are everywhere and tune in every Wednesday at 10 a.m. for brand new episodes. We love and appreciate you all so much. Thank you for almost spending our whole year with
Whole
us.
year.
Our whole year. 15th of May is our first birthday, guys. Our first publishing birthday. So it's going to be a goodie. I'd say it's going to be a goodie. I don't know what we're
So
going to do.
good.
We're going to exist. We'll
No, we
publish
need
an
to
episode.
plan something.
We do need to plan something. Hey, we'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. See yous next week. Bye.
Bye.